Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Hanging Garden, a Japanese drama from 2005 that was directed by Toshiaki Toyoda, one of the more interesting Japanese directors from contemporary times. Now, I have reviewed a handful of his films on this channel. Tokyo Rampage, Blue Spring, and Nine Souls each have separate video reviews. And now it's time to review Hanging Garden. So for the plot synopsis, I'm going to quote the website Asian Movie Pulse, because they do a good job of summarizing everything. The Kobayashis appear to be a regular family of four. Eriko, the mother, works part-time in a restaurant, otherwise busying herself with housekeeping. Takashi, the father, is a regular salaryman, and the two kids, Mana and Ko, 16 and 14 years old respectively, are students. Lastly, Eriko's mother, Sachin, is hospitalized due to lung cancer, but refuses to have an operation. What makes the family special, though, is that they have decided not to have any secrets and always be sincere with each other. Now, presumably, this results into constantly awkward situations, like a discussion during dinner of how each child was conceived and a celebration for Mana's first period. Seemingly, the family copes with this tactic and even presents an image of regularity. So, yes, this is essentially a film about a dysfunctional family unit. Despite the house rule of not keeping secrets, virtually everyone is keeping secrets from one another because there are deep-seated problems that no one wants to address. So, despite their strategy, it doesn't really work too well. These issues are explored in depth, as is each person's personality and dilemmas. Now, despite the dishonesty of the characters, the dialogue is still more straightforward than usual. So you have some character interaction that is unusually direct and blunt at times. And this is an interesting element to add to a Japanese film. I think a lot of cultures around the world, even in America, we don't like to necessarily say what we think all the time, just for the purposes of being polite. And in Japan, it's like this, possibly even more so. And so seeing this in this film where, even though the characters are dishonest a lot and are keeping secrets, there are times where they're very blunt and direct with each other. So that's really an interesting dynamic in the film that makes it a little bit different. It's also a little bit on the perverted side, because there is some sexual tension between each of the family members and the romantic love interests. But there's no actual sex scenes that are shown in the film, but still the romantic element does add the feeling of intimacy, I guess, that's already established from the premise in the movie itself, which is kind of an intimate look at the family unit. So you get the intimacy of the family unit dynamic as well as the romantic intimacy for each of their respective girlfriends and boyfriends. They also infuse some laid-back comedy into the script, which works quite well. Definitely a very psychological drama that kind of keeps you on your toes, and it'll make you think while you're watching it. There's some visual communication, so you'll probably notice more little details after repeat viewings, but that also means that it's more of a character interaction film, not a plot-driven film. So there's not one big story or plot where everyone gets involved. We basically get slice-of-life segments with each of these characters, and then they have scenes together as well. But that's what you get in this film, you know what I mean? So that could be a little bit of a problem for some viewers who like a central plot with a definitive resolution, which this film really doesn't have. Another observation I like to make is that Hanging Garden is a very female-centric film as well. The male characters have their moments, but there's definitely more of an emphasis on the grandmother, mother, and daughter in this. There are some recognizable names in the cast. You have Kyoko Koizumi and Ann Suzuki, I would say, are in the lead roles. And then smaller roles are given to Eita and Hiromi Nakazaku. I always love seeing her and stuff. And the performances by the cast members are all top-notch. There's a scene near the end between Koizumi's character and her mother. Really good exchange in that one. It's one of the highlights of the film, I think. The music is very good. Lots of piano is used. And the camera work does get unusual at times. The opening shot of the film is kind of simple but pretty great. You're not really sure what you're looking at during the opening shot until the camera pans out. And the director does use this tactic multiple times where the camera will start in close on a picture or a scene, and then it pans out to show you like the complete picture as to what's going on. And I like that. It also moves like a pendulum at times, which is very unorthodox. Or sometimes it moves in a big circle, the camera, like it rotates. Rather odd, but I do like it. So, there's really not a whole lot of bad things to say about this. If you're in the mood for like a good quality Japanese drama that has some distinct elements and is very kind of psychological, I say check out Hanging Garden. It's another impressive film from this director. Currently available on a Region B Blu-ray, and it's included in that Third Window Films box set that I showcased in my recent Asian movie collection update. So that's where you can get it. And as always, we will see you next time.